Nibem, my people, wash poppin'. It's a brand new and fantastic energy up in the studio. And of course, the Igbo Blondie is bringing Pop Kasa back to your screens with that perfect blend of entertainment and pop culture. Now, there's this word that's been floating around the internet lately when it comes to relationships, and that word is insecure. Now, well, today on the show, we're going to, go in on that insecurities conversation, and we're taking a full-on deep dive. My guests and I are ready, so let's dive right in. Welcome to Pop Kasa. Person on the teleprompter should move up. Welcome back to the show, my people. Now, you know how much I love the fact that the internet brings juicy conversations to our table. Well, today is no different, as we found a video that posed quite a tricky question citing insecurities. Of course, as you know, I'm not doing this alone. I've got Nigerian actor and television presenter Patrick Ekuwem in the house with me. How are you doing, Patrick?
Very well, thank you. Always happy to be here.
Glad you're here. Of course, we have our very own original Karina in the building. How are you doing, KK?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me also.
Thank you for coming. I like how I always have like this really sweet name for you. Do you like the KK name?
I like it.
I know you like it. Okay, let's get right into it now. In today's modern day dynamics of relationship, we have found that a lot of people online chalk up a whole bunch of things to insecurity. Now, while some things sure do raise concerns, most times I find that mere concerns raised in relationships are categorized as insecurities, labeling the partner as an insecure boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife. Now, before we get into the video that brought us here, I want to find out from my guests, how would you define an insecure partner, and what are some of those things your partner would do to give you the impression that they're projecting insecurities? I want to do ladies first and start with Karina, but I don't know, Karina, should we start with Patrick first? Let me throw it to you.
I think you should start with Karina. I think you should, yeah.
Okay, Karina, let's hear from you. What are those things that what would you say would define an insecure partner for you, and those things that your partner would do that would make you feel like, okay, that's a lot going on there?
I think one of the things that like my partner is going to do to give me the vibe that he or she is insecure is being overprotective. When you're very overprotective of me or not letting me hang around other people. You get me? Maybe okay, you're a guy and you don't want me to hang around all male friends, or you don't want me to have a lot of friends coming around. Those are like signs of insecurity. Or maybe you don't want me to have a particular kind of job because you're like, maybe I'll earn better than you.
Okay.
Those signs of insecurity. So a lot of things that like would sum up for me as being insecure or having an insecure partner.
I see you. Patrick, can I hear from you?
You know, what I love about what she just said is that that's a mature perspective to the term insecurity.
Yeah.
And compared to a lot of the things that we see nowadays, she's actually made a lot of valid points. A partner that is not happy about the profession you're in, they don't trust that you will be professional in what you're doing, and you might start relationships that might jeopardize the relationship they have without any genuine cause for concern. That's insecurity. I think if I were to define insecurity in a very, very short sentence, it's basically when you have irrational thoughts that your partner might be unfaithful or might be doing something else, and they're not based on anything that's rational or logical or realistic. It's just stuff going on in your head. So yeah.
Okay, I kind of see your point. Now let's take a look at the video we have here to take us deeper into this conversation.
My girlfriend makes $70,000 at her current job. She went to a job interview today. She calls me and tells me she got the job and she's going to be making $100,000 a year. The only problem is her ex from 5 years ago is the boss of the company. I tell her it's gonna make me uncomfortable knowing that she's gonna be around him all day, every day. I tell her if she takes the job, I'm leaving because I know I'm not gonna be able to handle it. If she loves me and wants to stay with me, she's not gonna take the job and she's gonna go somewhere else. My question is, am I doing too much? Does that make me insecure? If you were her, what would you do?
Okay, I'm going to go right off the question that he asked, and I want to split it. First of all, Karina, if you were her, what would you do? And Patrick, is he doing too much? And for both of you now, is he being insecure? Karina, what would you do?
If I was her, I would dump your ass.
Okay, calm down. There's so much going on here. Okay, Patrick, is he doing too much?
I don't think so. Look, I've got to say this here. Sometimes some things just don't work. Some things just don't, the reasons that just come together, the stars don't align, and some things just don't work. I can 100% see why she would want to take the job. She's making more money. She's probably advancing in her career. It makes a lot of sense. But remember what I said earlier is like, what I define as insecurity, especially when it's not healthy in a relationship, is when it's based on something that's not logical and not rational. The fact is, she's going to be around her ex just 24, I don't know, how many hours a day? Maybe 8 hours,
maybe
10 hours,
8.9.
But then
you know, multiple hours throughout the day. And then you've got to understand that we're still human. There might still be feelings there. At the end of the day, this is someone that she had a bond with, someone that she had a deep emotional connection with.
Okay, so from your point of view, is he being insecure?
I don't think he is.
He's not?
I don't think he is.
Karina, what do you think?
I feel like he has trust issues because if this person is a partner and you're going to have to marry them, because obviously this person they're still dating and you're asking for husband privileges when you're not yet, you're not wedded this lady. But then again, if you're going to marry this person to the altar, you must be able to trust them that this is their ex and they're going to keep it as that. They're like, let's be professional. This lady wants to just work and maybe pursue her career, and because of your insecurities and your trust issues, you're trying to limit her and trying to ask for things that might even be impossible to her because obviously she has to prioritize, is it you or over her job or her career. So she's the kind of lady that is going to pick you and the love she has for you over her career, then by all means. But if she's the kind of lady that is going to look out for herself, because at the end of the day, we don't know what the future holds. You might have to dump her tomorrow and all of that, but then again, she has to secure herself and her future. So
Karina has so much violence. Like, I can feel the violence in her blood already. Like, there's so much violence. Patrick, what is it now?
No. It's just to say, that's why I said sometimes it just doesn't work out. Look, she may want to take the job. And you mentioned something about trust. Karina mentioned something about trust.
Yeah.
And let me just say this. Trust is not just blindly trusting people. Trust is also based on knowing that people don't put themselves in certain situations where things that can happen. Now, that's not particularly relevant in this context because, again, this is a professional situation. She doesn't really have that much of a choice or a leeway. It's just a simple conversation. It doesn't need to be violent. It's just, look, this will make me uncomfortable knowing you're around your ex. I will not be able to cope with it.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't do anything, but I'm not going to live. I'm not going to live without my mind.
But then again, let's
you guys.
Let's look at it from this angle first of all. Are we sure is it the ex or isn't the ex an excuse for her not to get a job because feeling insecure about the fact that she's any more than you? We have to balance. We have to be sure which is which. Are you insecure?
Let's move in from this because I feel like the fire is going to keep brewing now. How do you handle insecurities in a relationship? I mean, do you avoid the relationship if you are the insecure one? And if you have them, what can you do to overcome these insecurities if you are the one in that position at this point now? Karina, I know that your fire is burning, so let me start with you. What can you do to handle insecurities in a relationship?
I have communicate with my partner more.
Communicate more, okay, I like that.
Talk to my partner, say those things. Don't just play in your head. Don't just think about it in your head. Actually voice it out and see what your partner has to say, because when you talk about it more, it then becomes more like you understand it better. In fact, the partner can reassure you that this is how it's going to be, and then you come to an understanding and try to make it work, basically. I think. Okay,
Patrick, as quick as possible, what are those, how would you handle insecurities in a relationship? And if you are the one, insecure at any point, would you, step aside from the relationship, or how would you handle it?
I feel like if something made me insecure, and knowing myself, I'm not going by any generalistic term, if something made me insecure, it means that there was definitely there's a sensible reason for that. And there will just be a conversation. This makes me uncomfortable. Is this going to stop or is this going to continue? If it's going to continue, I bid you adieu. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
And you're done. And that's it. Okay.
And that's it.
I mean, as tricky as these situations may be, it's always important to know and understand who your partners are, and most importantly, yourself as well. I mean, also, let's not forget that there's a place of compromise as long as it is not, for extreme unresolvable situations. We're still in this conversation. I would get into more right after the break. Stay with us.
Hey lovers, my name is Sharon Ojai-Grube.
Hi guys, my name is Femi Adebayo.
My name is Anado Adigesiabo Ojo.
Steve Chicks, I'm an actor.
Uche Montana.
Popularly known me as Neo Energy. My name is Neo Mobakbafre.
Uzo Arukwe, you're hanging out with News Central.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
News Central TV.
News Central TV.
News Central TV.
News Central TV. Did you hear me? And if I'm
Welcome back to the show, my people. Now we're still on the insecurities in relationship conversation, and you trust Twitter to have the juiciest tales. Now, so Dabi Adenuga made a tweet with a video that read, her boyfriend broke up with her because of her male best friend. Was he wrong? So let's check the video out.
Because I posted this video on my story. Broken up with is dramatic, as I was only talking to him for 3 weeks and we went on one date. But after I posted that story, he was so annoyed with me. He basically told me that he doesn't do guy best friends with the girls that he's speaking to, and if he's pursuing someone, he just doesn't really respect the fact that I have a male in my life that I love real bad. Now, some of you may be as confused as me because this is literally my best friend of 6 years. He's like my brother at this point, and I would never even look at him a certain way. But this guy was serious, and he was not letting up on this boundary that he had placed. So the only thing I could do was respect it. I explained to him what the situation was, that it was not like that, but he wasn't hearing it, so he cut me off.
Okay. So first of all, what's our take on best friends of the opposite gender in a relationship? And would we say the boyfriend was wrong or insecure with his move on this one? Let me start with you, Karina, because the girl is like, it's her, her best friend, and you're a female, so I want to find out, what is your take on, best friends of the opposite sex in a relationship, and was the boyfriend, insecure with his decision?
I feel like, he was insecure. From listening to the video, the lady said their relationship has been for 3 weeks, and her best friend has been like her friend for 6 years. So you cannot expect me to get rid of my friendship of 6 years because of your insecurity and a relationship of just 3 years. And I'm not even assured of the future. So I think it's a lot of insecurity going on there, because you just came in here. You should take time to observe what's going on. You should take time to know the people in my life and be able to trust that whatever I'm doing with this person is just real friendship and nothing more. I think that's basically, and I think that's basically a red flag. And she dodged the bullet, by the way. Yeah.
Okay. Patrick, what is your take on best friends of the opposite gender? And was he, I'm sure you say he wasn't insecure. I'm pretty sure you say that. But what's your take on that, first of all?
Well, first of all, let me say this. I do not tolerate, on a personal level, the concept of the woman I'm with having a male best friend. I will not get caught in that trap. You set that trap for other guys. They fall into it. The whole idea, his besties. I don't do that. That will not work. It is not. Men and women are not designed, in my perspective, in my view, to be best friends. If I'm going to be your boyfriend, then it's going to be any man that you're going to be as close to as that is going to be me. Do I think that this particular person was insecure? It's like I said, sometimes people have boundaries. And it's not a conversation. We're not asking you to change who you are.
Yeah.
This is just, I will not tolerate this. Can this change? You say no, and we agree to disagree and shake hands and we go apart. It's not always going to be a case where you have that issue and we're going to yield.
We get it. You people have too much fire in your blood anyways. Let's move on. Now, Lero Caesar quoted the initial tweet saying, coming into someone's life as a romantic partner and then expecting them to cut ties with platonic relationships in their life because of your insecurities is really insane law. Now, Faithful Black Men Association also quoted the tweet saying, having a male best friend is just a modern day open relationship. Women will use their male best friend for their emotional connection or support and use their romantic relationship for sex and aesthetics. Now, any man not wanting to participate in that doesn't make him insecure. We aren't blaming women for their relationship preferences. It's up to the man if he wants to agree to this type of setup. But don't call the man insecure. Call a man insecure because he isn't interested either. Now, let's all be realistic and fair. Well, that's all we're saying. Now, this kind of feels like a versus between Lero Caesar and Faithful Black Men Association. So what do we think of both? As quick as possible, because we're going to have to go real soon. So what do we think of both tweets? And who are you going with when it comes to this kind of conversation? I'll start with you, Karina. What do you think of both tweets?
Well, I feel like they are both right in their own, look at from each perspective, each person is right. But then again, depends on the kind of relationship. For example, I think using this lady as an example, for me, I feel like that was insecurity because she just come to her life for 3 weeks. She haven't gotten to know the man she's with as a friend. Have they done anything absurd apart from going for that event? What are you using to judge the relationship they have for you call the shots and call things off? So basically, I think it depends on the kind of relationship and the context. So everybody is right in their own way.
Yeah. I get you. Okay, Patrick.
I'm definitely going with the second tweet.
Of course. course, we already knew, but okay.
I need to point this out. It's not every time that we have these disagreements that we have to like throw, oh, you're insecure, oh, you're this. Or sometimes people have standards, and if they're not met, no one is calling ladies insecure for not wanting to date broke men. Ladies like men who are taller than they are, and no one has an issue with it. Guys just go, okay, that's the deal. We move. So why is it that all of a sudden, guys don't want to date girls that have male besties, and that's an issue? Come on.
Okay, now finally, AK tweeted, to those calling men insecure for believing these: 1, boundaries with opposite sex friendship is not insecurity, but a healthy and essential aspect of any relationship. 2, wanting to maintain a level of emotional exclusivity in a romantic relationship is a valid desire. A person's emotional investment in a relationship can lead to a desire for exclusivity and emotional closeness. This is a natural aspect of human bonding and is not inherently insecure. 3, this possessiveness and protection reflects a man's concern for the dignity, honor, and well-being of the woman under his care and is intended to safeguard their reputation and modesty. It's a matter of domestic clairvoyance by shutting any doors that may lead to any harm. Shut. Now, I personally would say AK is making a lot of sense, but what do you guys think? As quick as possible, in like the quickest 1 second, what do you think of AK's point of view? Karina first, let's go.
Like I said, I feel like all angles are right depending on the situation. Each situation determines, like, you know, how you're going to handle it. So I think he's also right. Sometimes it's not insecurity, just like Patrick said, is you just having standards and deciding, okay, this is what I want. And then again, if that's what you want, why even go into it in the first place, knowing what it is? Why go and meet a lady that already had a best friend? You know, I'm very sure that guy met her and knew that she had a male best friend. Then you go into it and you expect certain things. So go for what you're looking for. If you're looking for a girl without a male best friend, then look.
Just go for that. Yes. Okay, Karina is speaking fire. Patrick, as quick as possible, please.
It's very simple. He has completely, murdered the topic. He's put everything out there in perspective. It's very simple. There's nothing wrong with the standards he has. So if you have to have a male best friend, I won't settle for it. Good luck to you in your future.
Good. Wow. Okay, there's a lot of fire going on in the studio, you guys. It's been a lot, but I kind of get where everybody is coming from. At the same time, I feel like there should be boundaries in certain situations. Well, and on that note, we got to sign out and head on home because time is really going so fast today. I don't know why, and I don't know where we're running to. But indeed, my people, don't forget to be kinder on the internet and to your partners. Until I see you next week, Yaga Zero Guitar. Have a nice day.